lawsuits so that you have, I've taken all the precautions necessary so that your language is correct. I took all the boxes off the paperwork, so there's no boxes. The only thing, when the judge, when somebody asks you a question, like, what is the location of your property? Well, you have to have all the words defined, which is in the lawsuit. You have to have your name and address to be legal as far as understanding what an ownership of location is. That's in the lawsuit. You have to have a cause and effect as to why you have ownership and why the bank doesn't. That's in the lawsuit. Because possession is 9 points of the law, and no one ever gave you a legitimate contract, and you've been the caretaker, trustee, and guardian of the property, which puts you on it, and there is no contract. And I mean the word "no" is an adverb, making contract to be a verb, which is an adverb-verb fiction. So there is no paper in existence on planet Earth that says you do not own the property as being the original settler on the property. As the American Indians, even though we know the military moved them off, didn't have writing. They didn't have treaties. There has never been a correct parsec, syntax, grammar contract written for that object, and because you are the only person on it, under the maritime law of salvage, are the only people that have ever existed as original owners. Do you have a mortgage? The answer is no. Do you have a debt? The answer is no. Do you own the land? The answer is yes, because possession is 9 points until somebody can show you a correct parsec, syntax, grammar contract that says otherwise. So if the world of fiction wants to play the world of fiction, that's one thing. But when Iceland got a hold of this, Iceland forgave all the mortgages in Iceland back in March this year, rather than pay $25 million a pop to Wall Street. So everyone's title clear in Iceland now, even though it's a very small country. You can bring a lawsuit against a bank with the existing contract that you have right now and follow the procedures of suing for false and misleading information on the contract and showing where the bank had Lodial, L-O-D-I-A-L, title to the property. If you're the only person standing and nobody has claim to it and you're on the property, under 1 year moratorium, technically you own the property. If you Yeah, you'd have to be there 1 year under 1 year damage claim. That no one's ever filed a damage claim against you for false and misleading information. Okay? No. Now, there's a numbering. This is a numbering system. There's only 5 patterns of numbers in the entire world of fiction. And once you memorize these numbers, there's an old rule maybe most of you are familiar with, Sherlock Holmes. Everyone know the name? Okay. Sherlock Holmes says, when you remove all the things that cannot be possible, what are left, however irrelevant you believe them to be, are the facts. The point is, when we apply the same philosophy to the world of fiction, we actually come up with the facts.
Is the reason all these votes are irrelevant or wrong because the corporation took over the United States government in that time?
They have to maintain a condition of zero. The word comes from the word alien, remember? Alien means corruption from the beginning. We killed the Indians, stole the land, sold it to an unsuspecting buyer. Simple as that. All right, because they were corrupt in the way they conducted themselves, took over this country, bastardized grammar for 8,500 years, they have to have one condition of contract. And that contract must be in fiction at all times. You can never prosecute an individual for nothing. You can never prove nothing. You can do nothing wrong with nothing. So, which part of no don't you understand, the N or the O? And, you know, when you look at this, for you to go ahead and say, all right, anybody feel like a pronoun today? I. Where's your condition of contract? For the I? Why isn't there a name here? What it should say is for the person's first name and second name with the punctuated words. With the knowledge of a contract, not appointed. He has to sign a contract. I mean, why would he do the oath? He believes the oath is a contract, but here he's taken a position that he was appointed. Today it's mandatory that anybody that's a county sheriff has a 4-year college degree in criminology. 30, 40 years ago, it was anybody could say, okay, you're the sheriff, put on a uniform, put a badge on, carry a gun, hold up your hand, and that was it. What constitutes the fact of a judge or anybody that's an officer of the court? It's only your presumption. Don't forget, you've left Indiana, you've entered a foreign vessel in dry dock, and you speak Babel. Everyone has a second-grade reading, an attorney or a lawyer. And just put a 1 on top of every the on the paper, and the letter A and the letter an. And who stands with lotial title at 9 points of the law of possession with no contract written in the correct parse, syntax, grammar to say you don't own your property? You get clear title. 900 homes in Chicago were then, on March of last year in 2011, June 2011, 900 homeowners were awarded $7.5 million each at an $8.5 million check written by Bank of America, given back their homes, and all expenses for moving in and out for 3 months were paid for by the Bank of America. It cost them $8.5 billion. And that's for only 900 houses. That was all over CNN, yes.
So what does that mean in terms of being taxed on the property?
Taxes still pay for the policemen, the firemen. It's called bailment, B-A-I-L-M-E-N-T. It's a bailment manager. You will be the trustee of your property. No one owns property in the United States. You are only trustees. In other words, the guardian of the land. The people, right now, you're the last person standing on the property. So the new information that you're going to get will identify you to be a factual trustee, but show me a second trustee who has a better contract that is timely than yours to be who you are at this point in time and now time. I write quantum trusts. I write the only quantum trusts in the United States. They have never been broken. They've been taken into federal court and challenged. The federal court throws them out, saying you can't bring those documents here. We're a fiction. These are factual documents. You don't have copyright infringement capabilities of entering into these trusts. The trusts are factual holding trusts. You can't do banking with a quantum trust. You can have a second trust if you want, or do something with an ordinary checking account. But a trust is no more than a holding position of a quantum mortgage, a quantum contract on your land to describe it. A quantum trust is a trust that identifies you to be a trustee, and you are instructed to do specific duties within the confinements of that trust as far as management goes. But you can never enter a world of fiction with a quantum trust, because fact and fiction can never meet. People who want to buy trusts from me, I will not sell them a trust if they don't know quantum language, for one thing. And if they think they're going to use it for something that's not legal, I'm not also going to give you a trust for that. You don't have any amount of money you can give me. I'm financially independent. I make all the money I need. I'm financially set for life. I can't be bought, sold, traded, or anything else. I've had lawyers walk up to me with a suitcase with $2 million and say, here, go on vacation. Stop bothering us. I'm going like, I day trade that. I said, I've lost that in a day. That don't mean anything to me. I don't have adrenaline, so I don't get emotional. Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is that I can't use this quantum trust to interact with the banking and the...
No.
Can I hold other objects other than my real estate property?
Let's say if you have any object that you wish that is paid for in cash that has no adhesive contract in fiction due to somebody else, you can create an identity of that contract and put it into the trust, like personal belongings in a household, for instance. You can put an automobile in there, a tractor, farm equipment. By the way, all of your automobiles titles are owned by the United States government. You are only trustees to operate the vehicles under public safety law. Myself, I'm the